Greetings, fellow recording nerds. How's it going, everyone? So today, got a real quick one for you. This is a kind of a cool trick for mixing toms that I figured out a couple weeks ago doing a session here in Harmony in LA just before Christmas. And this came out of those drum fundamentals sessions I was doing with Dave Velez, and he hit me with this simple question the other day. He's like, hey, can you make the toms sound like this? And he pulled up the mix of the song Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold. Now, I'm not really familiar with that band, but I took a listen and went, wow, that really is trying very hard to sound like the Black Album. So anyway, that's kind of, I really dig the drum sound on that record, minus the sampled snare, that is. But the toms on that record sound really good, and both of them, honestly, it's like, cool. So I naturally, I'm sitting here with the Apollo X16. We've got, the whole whack of UAD plugins, and they're pretty good. And for the most part, was getting some pretty decent results. And, I started messing around with it with the UAD plugins, like the SSL channel and the Distressor. And I gotta say, their Distressor plugin's pretty good. The SSL plugin's really great as well. And this is what we got. And, that's pretty good. I mean, what we got going on here, say on like one of the mid-toms. So we've got a pretty healthy boost right about 16 kilohertz, another boost about 6, and a pretty serious wide scoop right in the 300 to 400 region, and a little bit of a bass boost as well. And, some pretty serious compression going on. Wow, that was a 10-to-1 opto. Wow, I had this in opto mode. Holy crap. Interesting. Slow attack, fast release, but a 10-to-1 mode. Interesting. That's real interesting. So, not bad at all. But, I mean, this is just one of those kind of things, it's thinking about it and it's like, okay, it's not bad, but I can probably do better. And, that's the thing. It sits and you just can't get it out of your head. How the fuck did they get that sound? So I did something that I would recommend to a lot of you guys who are trying to work a problem, and that is sleep on it. And so I woke up the next morning with a clear head, and I'm like, well, I just demoed that AIX drum EQ, which has that tunable equalizer. And this is what I got. And that's a little more along the lines of what the original record sounded like, because I was hearing super, super scooped drum sounds. And I was like, I just could not get it with the SSL channel EQ. So the big difference being here is if you use the AIX drum EQ, and we'll just solo up here. It shows you the fundamental frequencies. It shows you the fundamental and then all the resonances. So you can tune your drum exactly where it needs to be. And once you get that basic frequency dialed in, you can listen to the different filters, the different regions. This is kind of the low thump there. And then we take a listen to this. That's like the boxiness mid-range, and we can get right on that. And then we've got the resonances right after that. So we've got the bass frequency. Here's a couple octaves, and then we got a resonant frequency here we can control as well. So I can take that. Now keep in mind, here is the dry signal. And if we go back to the original EQ I came up with Universal, it's nice, but it doesn't have that attack that I got going on here on the top end. Once again, Universal. This is like, just cleans it up and gives us this massive sound. And that's the great thing. I mean, we've got this EQ set up, and if I want to say like apply it to tom number 2 here, all I got to do is just drop it in place with that insane scoop, solo up, and we listen for a drum. We can see it right here. We just change the tuning. And we get that nice attack, we get that nice scoop. You might even want to put a bit more attack here. And take this one down. There we go. And that's basically all there is to it. So it's just a matter of dragging and dropping your EQ on the drum and just tuning it. Once you get that initial EQ curve, all you have to do is grab the main frequency. You can see because it's a higher tom, it's right up around here. Pull that back a bit. So that one sounds maybe a bit on the boxy side. We can probably take this one down here. There we go. And maybe take this frequency up a bit. Let's widen that. Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's hear that mixed up. And let's hear that first tom again in the other mix. Yeah, that really has just a massive impact. Same fill, SSL EQs. Sounds kind of boxy by comparison. This is just holy shit. I'll tell you, I'm so impressed with this EQ that I've kind of brought it in on regular productions of other things that I am working on. I did that Fredman clip video a little while back, and that drum EQ was all over the place. Here's the drums I did with Felicity, and we're using the AIX drum EQ on the toms here as well. And you can see they're all just varying bits of tuning. And there we go. It's just, I think tom 2 there needs a little bit more of a boost. So let's going to bring that up here. Yeah, that's doing the trick now. So that worked out pretty well. I mean, like if I take a listen to these toms, and if we take off that drum EQ, here's how they sound kind of raw. I mean, they're pretty good. They're a nice clean source, but it's like you throw that drum EQ on and holy shit. So that's what I really like about this. It just kind of lays everything out for you, shows you exactly where the drum is in relation to tuning. And lets you just kind of see it visually and so you know exactly where to go for it. So let's throw this on a loop. Let's tune this up maybe a tiny bit better. Let's see what we got. And we're just going to solo up tom 2 here. Okay, might be tuned a little bit on the high side. Let's do a wide Q here. Wide Q here, and wide Q here. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can drag and drop this over as well. So let's take a look at tom 1 there. Again, that's you can get pretty extreme with this EQ, which is something I really like. Now this is obviously going to be tuned a little bit higher. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that sounds a little low. This one I don't think I'm going to have to adjust nearly as much. And take this down a bit. Especially that one. Let's take this guy up. Let's take something out right there. Whoa. Looks like that was the right frequency to grab and really hit it hard there. Let's bring the bass up. Wow. That's super cool. Now let's check out the floor tom as well. And that's basically how to do it. Just loop what you're doing and drop it in place. Let's see what we got here. Again, this is with the middle tom. I think we can get away right around here somewhere. Let's take that down a bit. Let's take that frequency down here. We're going to take this frequency down and do this one. Bring that up a bit. We're going to drop the frequency here. And third octave, let's take that down. That's where's that at? That's 299 hertz. Let's see how that sounds. Wow. We'll broaden this up. Holy shit. That sounded really freaking cool there. And then we just need maybe a little bit more of a bit of limiter on there. God, that sounds massive. Holy smokes. Wow. Let's take that down a bit. Jeez. So yeah, we're starting to hit them a little bit harder now, especially with the limiter. And again, we have to turn things up a little bit because we've taken a lot of the mid-range out, but now they're kind of overpowering. Take those down a bit. Really loving what that's doing to that floor tom, that's for sure. So let me just put a bit more of that mid-range back in the first tom because it might be a little overwhelming. Just bring that up a touch. And maybe a little more top end. Especially around 12 kilohertz as well. Yeah. I think that's going to do the trick. Holy smokes. All right, so there you go. That's pretty damn cool. Now, if you guys are digging the guitar sound, I'd highly recommend checking out my Fredman clip video. I got to give props to Mr. Frederick Nordstrom for sharing some very valuable tips on how to get that kind of sound. And if you want to get your hands on the EQ and start dialing in some massive tom sounds, I'm going to have a link in the description below. Disclosure alert, no, I'm not getting paid by AIX to say this. I think it's a very valuable tool, but I did join their affiliate program and because I think it's valuable to spread the word. So if you do buy one of their plugins, yes, I get a small percentage, and that will go a long way into helping me put food on the table and exist and all that good stuff. So if you dig it, definitely check it out. Follow the link in the description below. Anyway, more tips coming. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to keep them coming. Anyway, thanks for watching.